You are listening to episode 206 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you are created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Tino. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Well, hello, beautiful mamas. I'm so glad you're here because I want to infuse some delight into your life. How is everything going? Do we feel a little heavy, and do we have things that we're dreading? I guess the word drudgery kind of comes up maybe this time of year when we are in the middle of winter right now, where we are in the world, or where I am in the world, and we might have been, without that warm sun, without maybe getting some vitamin C, and we just kind of feel like this heavy cloudiness in our life. And so that's what's kind of inspired this episode, that I'm not wanting to take that maybe kind of dread or drudgery that we have in our lives right now and really have to transform it per se to that we are feeling ecstatic and just so overjoyed and everything about what's going on. I want you to focus on those smaller things that are really kind of oppressing and just, dreadful to you, and that you might want to feel a little lighter in. When I hear the word delight, I do get that sense that it's a small change and that it's sweet, right? Like I delight in it. And so I want to help you if you are tired right now, if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you have thoughts that you're in a never-ending cycle of monotony in your life, then this episode is for you. Because I know that if you're someone who has this longing, this little desire in your heart for a life that's filled with more joy and delight, well, I want to tell you that you're in the right place. Because we're going to explore going and moving from overcoming the challenge of dread and infuse some tips here to help you move to delight. So we can transform any kind of mundaneness you feel in your life. And again, we're not looking for it to go from mundane to magnificent, but can we go from dread and drudgery to delight? So let's begin by addressing why so many of us find ourselves trapped in this cycle of drudgery. And it often happens when we lose sight of our purpose, our passions, what truly matters to us, and then we instead allow routine to overtake our lives. So really at the root of it is the routines that we set. And I know that often many of you come to me saying, if I could just, establish my routines. And it is true that is helpful in building habits and things that become just part of our lives and easy. But we then just want to make sure that routine doesn't then become what is so mundane for us. And sometimes we do have to do things that are hard and just mundane, and we don't even have to make that a problem. But again, if I can give you a little bit of awareness and a different perspective on your life that would have you go seeking and looking for more delightful things, then this is a home run. Okay, so the daily grind, we know, can leave us feeling drained. It can leave us feeling uninspired. But the good news is that you have the power to break free from that cycle. And one misconception that is common with all of us is thinking that when we recognize that our life is feeling heavy and we're dreading it and it's mundane, and all of a sudden we think we have to completely overhaul our lives. And that isn't the truth. And while I love big transformations, big change, and that is what happens in my life coaching programs, you start to see huge changes in your lives, and it is something that you then have the skills to transform and make big changes in your life forever. But I don't want you, my dear listeners, to have to wait for any huge major life shift for you to start experiencing more delight, more joy. So let's explore a little bit about what you can do or where you can take your thoughts that will help you transform dread into delight. And I want to begin always with being more mindfully aware. Awareness is the key to making the change that we want in our life. So if you're not mindful or have awareness or focus about what your daily activities are that are causing you dread, then we can't even turn it to delight because we don't even have a starting place. So I want you to pay attention to the small moments, the ones you might be overlooking right now that you do find joy with, right? Like the warmth of the morning sun, if that is something you can access where you're living right now at this time of year. Sometimes it could be something as small as the laughter of your children. Notice how we could be doing the dishes and our mind is thinking about all the things that we have to get done. And then if we are able to become more mindfully aware of maybe the kids over there playing nicely together and you hear their laugh and then you turn and you become more mindful and focus on that as being so delightful, the laughter of our children. How about the taste of your favorite meal? Can we put our mind, how many times do we just make our meal, even if it's one that we like and we are just, we're not even thinking about it as we eat. Before we know it, the plate's empty and we don't even remember eating it because our mind was somewhere else. But can you delight in that taste? The fact that you have your favorite meal, that you love it so much, what would it look like for you being mindful if that was creating delight for you? And it just can infuse even the most routine tasks when you become more mindful with delight. And one of the kind of examples I want you to think about in this tip of becoming, having more awareness around creating delight in your life is to think of a dull gem, like a jewel stone, a gemstone, and think of it as being really dull and you are polishing it. So when you pay attention to the small moments in life, like savoring a sip of your morning coffee, or again, listening to your child's laughter, when you're focused in on that, you are actually polishing the dread and drudgery is that dull gem of your life, the routine. You're actually polishing it. So you reveal that hidden brilliance, that hidden delight. The brilliance of the gem is like the delight that is looking to be found in your mundane life. And you're revealing it within this everyday routine of yours. Okay, I mentioned this just briefly earlier in the episode, but the next thing I want to talk to you about when your life is full of dread and drudgery and you want to transform it into delight is to rediscover your passions, taking the time to reconnect with your passions and your interest. What makes your heart sing? What activities bring you joy? Whether it's painting, dancing, cooking, or simply going for a walk in nature. Are you making room for these activities in your life? I'm going to guess probably not if you do find yourself that you have more dread than you have delight. So prioritizing your passions can add a sense of purpose and it can add a sense of fulfillment. And just consider your internal passions as colors on a palette. And just as an artist will select a color on purpose to create a masterpiece, I want you to think about and rediscover what are your passions and interests, and how can you then pick them up off of the color palette that's just sitting there, but then infuse it in your life to inject some vibrancy, delight, purpose, and create your own life that is a work of art that delights you when you look back on it. Okay, I also want to offer you to just simply a change of perspective. That is all it takes sometimes, is to shift your mindset from viewing tasks as chores, where right now it just your brain might be defaulting that's like, I got to do this again, or here we are again, or I don't like doing this, or I wish I didn't have to. And instead seeing them as opportunities for growth and creativity, where no, these are activities that actually I'm choosing to do, that I actually want to do. And you can find ways in the perspective to make it more delightful for you. And so approaching your daily responsibilities with a sense of curiosity on how you could make it more delightful, that in itself is going to get you going into transforming it. And imagine you're looking at your to-do list right now. And instead of looking at it as heavy and you're dreading it and it's going to take a lot of your time and energy, what if you looked at it as a treasure map? That each task, right, is one more step, it's one more clue that's leading you to a new experience. And it's an opportunity for you to growth, to try on what you're hearing here in the podcast, and to see that the power you have to create how you feel and the experience you have about doing those mundane activities now. And this change of perspective can make it a little bit more of an adventure, right? Can you imagine at the end, you're finding like a treasure? Even at the end of your to-do list, if you did get to the end of it, what is a treasure that you could instill for yourself that you would do or enjoy for yourself or have or buy or whatever that is, so that you do feel more delightful on your way to finishing that to-do list? And the last thing that I want to bring on the podcast today is to remind you that gratitude and thankfulness is just the most magical, powerful tool we can get our hands on when we're feeling dread and drudgery, which means if we're feeling that way, that means we're having thoughts that are creating that feeling for us. And so when we go to gratitude, when we go to thankfulness, when we send our brain out looking what is right about our lives, that is going to then search and find things more apt that delight us. So each day, take a moment to reflect on the things you're grateful for. It could be your health, it could be your loved ones, it could even be the challenges that you either face now or you've already overcome that have made you stronger. And gratitude can turn that ordinary moment into an extraordinary one, or in this case, one that is just a little bit more delightful. And I want you to picture that gratitude are like rays of sunshine, especially since we're talking about, well, I know personally when I'm doing this exercise, it is a wintry, heavy, cloudy day. And so I love thinking about gratitude being rays of sunshine. And when you are more grateful, you add a ray and then you shine that light on your life, and you can start to see that even within the darkest moments, you can reveal that there are hidden blessings going on. And almost like even for more of a sun visualization, like a sunflower turns towards the sun. That's how it grows. So let gratitude guide you towards more delight in your life. Lastly, I want to just give you this visualization of being stuck versus flow, because that's how I see when we dread things, when we feel like we are in a drudgery of our routines, the mundane. I equate this with feeling stuck. And I want you to now think of being in delight as getting you to that being in flow, being in you like on like a wave that you're riding that is having you look at your passions effortlessly, and you're feeling more of a kind of an exhilaration in your life and a movement instead of this heavy and stuckness. So in closing, I just want to remind you that life is too precious to be spent in a constant state of dread and drudgery. And by practicing mindfulness, by rediscovering your passions, by changing your perspective, by cultivating more gratitude in your life, you can transform your daily life into a source of delight. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. And if you have any questions or topics you would like to uncover in future episodes, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to support you on your journey of motherhood to make it more balanced and peaceful and more joyful. So until next time, I hope you find more joy and delight in every moment of your life. And as always, I wish you peace and love to all. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind podcast. If you found value in today's episode, I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe and leave a review. It not only supports the podcast, but ensures you don't miss out on future episodes packed with insights and tools to create peace of mind in your busy mom life. And if you're of the Catholic faith like me, or any Christian mom seeking to feel better in any area of your life and to show up more calm, connected, and confident, I can help. Become an empowered mom who knows how to bring about the changes you desire, no matter the circumstances. Whether you need one-on-one guidance to get there, prefer a group coaching program with like-minded women, or a self-study course, I've got you covered. Explore my private one-on-one packages, join my Busy to Balance group life coaching program, or delve into my signature course, Divine Time. To find out which path is right for you, let's meet and see what's the best fit. Schedule a free call with me at danielleteenel.com or send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram at Danielle Teenel Coaching. And also, don't forget to get your copy of my book, The Cyclone Mom Method, How to Call on Your God-Given Power to Remain Calm, in control, and confident as a busy mom. Dive into the digital and bonus audio version when you go to book.danielleteenel.com/new-book. You'll find all the details in the show notes too. Until next time, peace be with you always.